A lot of good stuff here. This is not your normal white tea. This is not your normal white tea, but for people who like white teas, for people who want different flavors in a white tea, but still everything beautiful about those fruiting whites, this is the tea for you. Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Sweet as Dew. Let's bring you another episode of Teas on the Website with the Jinmudan white tea. This is a white tea for white teas lovers. So this wonderful tea is by the same makers of the watermelon white and the Jinmudan red. Jinmudan is a cultivar that was originally used for oolongs, but this particular maker really enjoys the aromas and some of the flavor notes of these cultivars, so he often uses these cultivars, oolong cultivars, Jinmudan, Jingguanyin, to make red teas and white teas. This tea is unique, and it's unique in a way that when I first tasted it, my first sips, I didn't particularly like it, but the more I tasted it, the more I was like, oh no, there's something here. The body is clean, a lot of hairs, a little bit of a greenness to it, a little bit of a color. The liquor is a little bit darker than usual, a little bit more of a silverness, but this is quite good. The first time I tasted this tea, the first few steeps, I wasn't that big of a fan of it. But the more I drank it, even that same session, the more I came to appreciate it. And the more I came to realize that these other flavor notes were not flaws. These were, because sometimes you get a white tea and it's a little vegetal, and the vegetal in a white tea is oftentimes not a good thing. You don't really want a vegetal flavor. There are some green notes in here, and the first time I drank it, I thought this was more of a vegetal green, and that's not really something you want to see in white tea, not something I particularly like. But the more I drank it, the more I was like, no, these aren't vegetal. These are more green apple skins, artichoke, lime zest, this sort of fruity greenness and citrusy greenness and shoot cider greenness. This tea is also a blend of the Jinmudan cultivar and a little bit of some old tree white tea, some old tree heirloom varietal, Shaosai Cha. And that old tree is going to give it just a little bit of texture and a little bit of roughness to it, which is part of what gives you that lime zest flavor. This is a tea that oversteeped will get astringent, but I did a long steep yesterday. Tea came out tasting like IPAs. The steep was like a couple hours long though. I just completely forgot about it, to be honest. It was strong, it was in your face, but there was actually still that fruitiness. There was actually something nice about it in its kick. A lot of good stuff here. This is not your normal white tea. This is not your normal white tea, but for people who like white teas, for people who want different flavors in a white tea, but still everything beautiful about those fruiting whites, this is the tea for you. So we're gonna do we just did a long steep. I already know this on a long steep does get astringent. This on a long steep does get astringent. So let's see how astringent. This is kind of wild for a white tea. White teas, especially the Fuding Da Hao cultivars, don't get this strong on a long steep. It's one of the nice, maybe boring things about them is you can steep them. A good one you can steep for a really long time and it won't get too different. This is going to be different. That is astringent. That is drying. But then there's this just comeback aroma and this comeback floralness. And right now my mouth is really, really cool. Just like methanol, sort of really like a breeze on a stream sort of feel. It's actually kind of crazy that when that first hits, it's astringent and bitter, but then the cooling on that is Yeah, that's actually quite nice.